All right, hey guys, so it has been a while since I sat down in my kitchen with a coffee, which I need right now, and just chatted with you about real life stuff that we are all going through. And so after a couple situations that came up in my own life over the past couple weeks, I decided that it was time I did a video on how to deal with a high conflict personality. Now, this is a platform for stepmoms for the most part. And so I'm sure most of you are thinking about dealing with a high conflict ex-wife. And yes, 100% this applies. But high conflict personalities, they're just a reality of life, right? Everyone, stepmom or not, has to deal with high conflict personalities. So it could be like your boss, or it could be your mother-in-law, it could be your family members, it could be a coworker or a friend. Okay, we all have high conflict personalities in our life. And the key is figuring out a way to deal with those personalities and interact with those personalities so that it doesn't affect the way that you can show up for the people who matter most. So with that, I am going to share 5 tips and strategies on how to deal with, or not, a high conflict personality. So the first tip that I have is don't. If you cannot deal with them at all or not talk to them at all, don't. Do your best to cut out these high conflict personalities from your life. But that's not always possible, right? Sometimes it is a boss or an ex or a coworker or a family member. So while you can minimize your interactions with them, you can't just get rid of them altogether. So the strategy here is to not engage, okay? So say you are having a conflict or a disagreement with someone who is high conflict, don't engage with them. Don't try to have them understand your side. Don't try to reason with them. This will be a colossal waste of your time and energy, and I cannot stress that enough. They thrive off this stuff. They're not listening to you, or they're not listening to understand. They're listening so that they have more ammo to continue with this argument. So don't try to win, okay? Do not engage with these types of personalities. The third tip is to keep it businesslike. So if you do have to engage with them, now I'm talking about an ex or actually a boss or whoever, keep it businesslike and to the point, okay? In and out, quick and dirty, communicate what you have to, stick to the topic, and get it done. The key here is to engage with them the same way as you would engage with, say, a boss who you absolutely can't stand. Fourth, stop waiting for them to change or stop waiting for them to see the light. So often we have the same types of interactions with people over and over and over again in life. Like, how many times have you had the same argument with your husband's ex? Or how many times, actually, have you had the same argument with anyone in a high conflict situation? They're probably not going to change unless they're ready. So often people who aren't high conflict will try to engage with the high conflict personalities so that they can see the light, or they can prove their point to them. Again, don't do that. You're not going to change them. The key is to find a way to change your reactions and the impact that they're having on you. So number 5, the way that you do that is you get so crystal clear on what this relationship is going to look like. So what are you going to talk to them about? What are you not going to talk to them about? What are you going to do when conflict arises? How are you going to engage with them? So this is another situation if you're dealing with a high conflict ex. Like, are you going to keep it through email? Are you just going to do text? What are you going to do to find a way to communicate in the healthiest way possible? Then when it comes to setting these boundaries, you know what you're going to communicate with them about. You know what topics are off limits, so that when these high conflict situations arise, you have your reactions planned ahead of time. So again, you can minimize the impact that they have on you. Guys, the one thing that I really want to stress, and I feel like I heard this from Jenna Kutcher or someone like that, but they were talking about how your time and your energy, it is like this limited resource you are never going to get back. So if you're spending your time and energy on dealing with a high conflict personality or trying to engage in this conflict and fighting a battle that, man, you're never going to win, you are never going to get that time and energy back. So it's better to be spending it on something that's productive and positive in your life. So there are 2 quotes that I really, really love. I don't know who said them, but the first one is, sometimes silence is the best last word. And the second is, you don't need to attend every argument that you're invited to. All right, that's it for this video, guys. As always, be sure to like, comment, and share this video with someone who needs it, and I will see you in the next one.